I give Shea credit because the one thing as a superstar you have to do, two people have the most control of a team. The best player and the coach. It's up to the best player to give those guys confidence. And also it's important for the coach to give them the freedom to do their thing. So Coach Daniel, is that his name? Dagnall and Shea, man, they do a good job. I love the way they do their interviews together, but when you're a star, you have to give those guys air.
The moment Charles Barkley grabbed that microphone, something shifted in the air. It wasn't gradual, it wasn't polite. He stared straight into the camera lens like he was looking through every Lakers fan's television and directly into their souls. And then he just went off. This wasn't analysis anymore. This wasn't a former player giving measured takes. This was personal. This was live television with no filter, no safety net, no soft landing pad waiting at the bottom. From the very first word, from the very first breath, it was straight heat pouring out of him like a furnace door left wide open. Cowboy boots entered the conversation. Sweet predictions flew out like accusations. And somehow, almost impossibly, he pulled in those wild, untamed Sandman dance vibes that nobody asked for but everyone secretly needed. He brought the full show, no exceptions, no apologies. The Lakers had just gotten completely handled in Oklahoma City, and Chuck made sure that anyone with functioning eyeballs and a working television could not miss how rough, how embarrassing, how lopsided it all looked. So now the question sits there like an uninvited guest. Was he speaking honest, unfiltered facts, or did he go way too hard, too fast, too loud when the series isn't even technically, officially, mathematically over yet? And while we're being honest, let's just say what everyone was thinking. How many people were low-key, secretly, joyfully enjoying every single second of that beautiful chaos unfolding on national television? Inside, the NBA really, truly, genuinely does not get enough credit for turning itself into a full-blown roast session out of absolutely nowhere, and this was a masterclass.
We didn't expect. We said, hey, maybe the Lakers could win a game, but this team here, man, they've been, even though they didn't win the championship that first year, they've had the best record 3 years in a row.
Number one seed in the West 3 years.
Yes, I mean, so they have been, and now they...
Most nights you tune in with a certain expectation. You're looking for breakdowns, you want highlights, you're hopping for a little insight, maybe some analysis that helps you understand what you just watched. It's comfortable, it's predictable, it's safe. And then, without warning, without apology, the whole show flips upside down and suddenly it's not a basketball program anymore. It's Charles Barkley running a full-blown comedy set, and the target of every joke is whichever team just got humiliated that particular evening. This time, the Los Angeles Lakers walked directly into that blazing spotlight after Game 2 against the Thunder, and Chuck wasted 0 seconds before jumping on top of the opportunity like it owed him money. The setup couldn't have been clearer if someone had written it out on a whiteboard. Thunder win by 18 in Game 2. The series is sitting at 2-0. Oklahoma City is moving sharp, moving fast, moving confident like a team that knows exactly who they are and what they want. Meanwhile, the Lakers looked completely, utterly lost, like they had walked into the wrong gym and forgotten why they even bothered bringing their sneakers in the first place. You could feel it in the studio, too. The crew came in with that specific energy, that certain electricity, like they had been waiting all night, holding back laughter, just dying for someone to open the door. Ernie Johnson tried his best to keep things smooth and controlled the way he always does, the way a good host should, but Chuck wasn't trying to hear any of that calm, measured, responsible energy. Not tonight. Then came the line that set everything off, the spark that lit the whole fuse. "Get the cowboy boots ready," he said. "We're going to Oklahoma City."
Chuck, you know what they say in a time like this.
Get the cowboy boots ready, we're going to Oklahoma City?
No.
That's what they should be saying.
Well, they just tased Ryan. This ball game is over.
They just tased Ryan.
131.
Hey, King. I wanted to do that tonight, and Ernie wouldn't let me.
Oh, come on.
That was it. No build-up. No dramatic pause. No warning signs flashing in the background. Just straight to the point like an arrow released from a bow. He locked eyes with the camera, dropped a casual sweet prediction like he was mentioning the weather, and then let it sit there in the middle of the studio while everyone else tried to catch their breath and figure out what just happened. Ernie pushed back a little, the way he always does, trying to slow things down, trying to apply a little brake pressure. But Chuck doubled down faster than a gambler on a hot streak. He made it absolutely crystal clear that the whole cowboy boots line wasn't just some throwaway joke designed to get a few laughs. It was exactly how Lakers fans should be thinking right now, because this series is looking less like a competitive battle and more like a quick exit followed by a long, painfully quiet, soul-searching offseason. And somehow, impossibly, it kept getting better from there. The crew started clowning Chuck about wanting to bring back that old legendary Cabuya celebration from back in the day. Ernie apparently had told him not to even try it on air, not even once, not even as a joke. But Chuck, being Chuck, went ahead and told everybody about it anyway. He admitted right there on live television that he wanted to hit the cowboy call immediately after the Lakers' loss, and even said that Ernie had to physically, literally stop him from doing it. And then what did Chuck do? He still gave a little version of it anyway, because following rules has never really been his thing, not for one single day of his entire life. The studio crowd was cracking up, losing their minds, unable to contain themselves. People at home were laughing too, probably scaring their pets and waking up their neighbors. Lakers fans, yeah, probably not enjoying that moment at all. But everyone else was having an absolutely fantastic time watching it all unfold.
Come on, Chuck. They get swept. Come on, babe.
I think that's what that means, Kenny.
Oh, Sandman. You gotta do the Sandman dance. Hey, I'm just getting a head start. We're gonna be off another day next week.
Is that happening tomorrow too?
Oh, in Philly? Oh yeah. The Knicks are gonna wrap it up for my boys tomorrow. And listen, I'm so sick. Al Palagonia, Spike Lee, Timothy Chalamet, Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan, all them hoodlums coming down to Philly making all that damn racket. Come on, Joel, rise up. Rise up. Come on, rise up, Philly. We can't get swept.
And just when you thought, just when you really believed that he might ease up just a little, might tap the brakes, might let the Lakers catch their breath, Chuck switched lanes without a blinker and started firing at the Knicks and Sixers situation too. He wasn't done. He was just getting started. He started calling out the celebrity sideline squad like a roll call at a comedy club. Al Pacino, Spike Lee, Timothée Chalamet, Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan. He ran through those names like a man reading a warrant, joking about them showing up in Philly, causing noise, bringing chaos, even calling them hoodlums for the sake of the bit, knowing full well it would get a reaction. Then he flipped it again, begging Joel Embiid to step up his game while also talking about how tired he is, genuinely exhausted of all the celebrity hype that surrounds these games now. At that point, Chuck was in full control of everything. He was loose, unfiltered, unscripted, and saying whatever came to his mind in real time. When he gets like that, when he finds that rhythm, nobody is safe, no team gets a pass, no player is off limits, anything can become the joke, and everything probably will. Still, even with all that, the Lakers segment hit the hardest. That was the main event, that was the heavyweight fight, everything else was just the undercard.
Oh wait, I don't think we've seen anything we didn't expect. We said, hey, maybe the Lakers could win a game, but this team here, man, they've been, even though they didn't win the championship that first year, they've had the best record 3 years in a row.
Number one seed in the West 3.
Yes. I mean, so they have been, and now their confidence is through.
That roast had layers like an onion or a really good cake or a complicated novel. He went at the team, he went at the history, he went at the fan base, and he especially went at how they got broken down piece by piece in Oklahoma City. But here's what made it hit even harder, what made it sting so much more than a simple joke. He gave real, genuine, honest credit to the Thunder at the same time. That kind of respect mixed with criticism that burns differently, that hurts worse. Because when the other team is actually getting praised like that, in the same breath that your team is getting destroyed, it makes everything your team did wrong stand out even louder, even brighter, even more embarrassingly. Underneath all the jokes, underneath the Sandman dances and the cowboy boots and the cowboy near misses, Chuck was still dropping real, legitimate basketball insight about how Oklahoma City is outplaying them in every single way imaginable. Chuck made it clear that this Thunder team is not some random moment, not some lucky streak, not some flash in the pan that will disappear next week. It's a real takeover built year after year, brick by brick. He pointed out that Oklahoma City has now locked in the number one seed in the West for 3 straight seasons. That is not luck, that is not a quick hot streak. That is a young squad putting in work, climbing step by step, getting better every summer until now they're sitting at the top looking down at everyone else. They did not grab a title in that first year, not even close, but that didn't shake them at all. They didn't panic, they didn't blow it up. They stayed consistent, kept stacking wins, kept building chemistry, and built real, genuine, unshakable confidence along the way. And that confidence, you can see it clear as day on the court. It's visible in every pass, every rotation, every defensive stop. That's how you beat a team like the Lakers by 18 and walk off the court like it was just another regular night at the office. No panic, no pressure, just business handled next. Then Chuck started giving credit where it matters most. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and head coach Mark Daigneault. And yeah, he had a quick moment where he blanked on the coach's name, absolutely brain farted right there on live television, and Kenny had to jump in and save him like a lifeguard pulling someone out of the pool. That's just classic inside the NBA chaos right there, and honestly it made the moment better, not worse. But once that got sorted out, once the name was back in his brain, Chuck locked in on the real point. According to him, and he's been around long enough to know, every team's success comes down to two people. That's it, the star player and the head coach. Simple as that, no exceptions. The star sets the vibe, sets the tone, sets the standard. The coach builds the system, installs the discipline, manages the minutes. And everybody else falls in line behind that energy, follows that lead, or they find themselves sitting at the end of the bench. And in his eyes, Shai is doing exactly what a real, genuine, bona fide superstar is supposed to do. He's not out there trying to take all the spotlight for himself, not hungry for every camera, not chasing every headline. He's lifting his teammates up, giving them confidence, making sure everybody feels like they belong on that floor. When things go right, he spreads the credit around like a buffet instead of holding onto it like a trophy. That's the difference, Chuck said. That's what separates the good from the great. Average stars want all the praise, all the attention, all the glory. But the great ones already know the spotlight is coming whether they ask for it or not, so they use their voice to boost the whole team instead of just themselves. Shai is checking every one of those boxes. He's doing interviews alongside his coach, calling out teammates by name, sharing attention just like he shares the ball. And the result is a full roster of players who are ready, willing, and able to step up when it matters most. Meanwhile, the Lakers are dealing with a completely different energy right now, a completely different vibe, and it's not helping them one bit. You've got a star who's been stuck arguing about calls for the past couple of weeks, joying with referees instead of running back on defense. You've got a coach publicly going at the officiating, calling it one of the worst situations he's seen for a star player. That's not focus. That's not discipline. That's frustration showing up in real time, bleeding through the screen. The Lakers are not just losing on the scoreboard. They're losing control of the moment, losing their composure, losing the mental battle. Chuck didn't need to spell that part out directly. The difference spoke for itself, loud and clear. One team is being led by a player who builds confidence in others. The other side is stuck reacting, complaining, and falling behind while the game keeps moving forward without them. Then he started breaking down the depth that Oklahoma City is working with, and this is where it gets genuinely scary. Aaron Wiggins, Casson Wallace, Jalen Williams, players coming in and making real, tangible, game-changing impact. This is not a top-heavy roster depending on 2 or 3 guys playing heavy minutes and hopping nobody fouls out. This is a full squad, a deep rotation, options everywhere you look, solutions for every problem. Most teams are hopping their stars, can carry them for 40 minutes and just survive, just hang on, just keep it close. The Thunder, they can rotate bodies all game long, wave after wave, and not lose a single step. That depth is hitting the Lakers hard right now, like a punch to the gut that keeps coming. Their bench cannot keep up, cannot match the energy, cannot stop the runs. And Oklahoma City's second unit is out there winning entire stretches by itself, without even needing Shai on the floor. And just when it felt like Chuck might settle back into analysis, might take a breath, might let the audience process everything, he jumped right back into the jokes. The Sandman dance came up again, bringing that old Apollo Theater energy where weak performances get swept off the stage by a guy with a hook. And right now, down 2-0 with sweep talk getting louder and louder, that Sandman is not just a joke anymore. It's not just a funny visual. It's starting to feel like a warning, like a shadow waiting in the background, like something looming just over the horizon. Chuck really got into it this time more than before. He actually started doing the dance right there on camera, moving his body, committing to the bit completely. He said he had to get it in early because the show was going off air for a few days, so he needed to stack up his celebration moments while he could, while the iron was hot, and the studio completely lost it. Everyone was cracking up, shoulders shaking, faces red, because this wasn't just any moment. This was happening on national television right after a Lakers playoff loss, with one of the biggest names in the history of the sport somewhere watching it all go down. And here's the reality, the hard truth that nobody wants to admit. There is zero protection for the Lakers right now. None. The biggest sports show on cable didn't spend time breaking things down nicely, didn't sugarcoat anything, didn't leave room for hope. They straight up laughed at them, they pointed fingers, they did dances. That's a different level entirely, a different category of criticism. Analysis leaves room for hope. Maybe a comeback story, maybe a turnaround, maybe a Game 3 adjustment. But laughter is when people have already decided it's over. Laughter is when the only thing left is to deliver the punchlines and watch the fallout. What makes it even crazier, even more remarkable, is that Chuck has been calling this matchup from the very start, from the beginning, from before the series even tipped off. And he didn't switch up once, he didn't hedge, he didn't leave himself an escape route. He picked the Thunder early, stuck with the Thunder, and kept saying the Lakers were not built to deal with this kind of team, this kind of speed, this kind of depth. He pointed at the roster, said it didn't match up. He talked about defense, said it wouldn't hold up. He warned everybody that the Thunder's pace would expose them in ways the regular season didn't clearly show. And now that's exactly what's happening right in front of our eyes, play by play. So yeah, Chuck gets to celebrate it. He earned that right, and that's something most analysts, most talking heads, most former players never actually earn. The right to go back, look at their take, look at their prediction, and say they were right when people doubted them, when people called them crazy, when people said they were just being dramatic. He's not just talking now. He's enjoying it, savoring it, dancing about it. And that energy, that confidence, that swagger is what makes it hit even harder for the team on the receiving end. Now compare that to how most networks handle playoff coverage. It's night and day, completely different worlds. Most shows keep things safe, keep things friendly, protect relationships with big-name players and powerful agents. There are unwritten rules, unspoken agreements about how far you can go, especially when talking about top stars and historic franchises. You don't usually see bold predictions like "cowboy boots, it's a sweep" leading off a segment. You don't usually see someone publicly predicting a series to end early and then celebrating when it happens. And you definitely don't see someone breaking into the Sandman dance while a series is still technically being played with games still on the schedule. But TNT lets Chuck go all the way with it every single time because he is the show. He's not a part of the show, he's not a piece of the puzzle. He is the engine, the heart, the voice. The whole setup works because everyone knows he's not playing by the same rules as everybody else. He never has. And that freedom, that lack of restraint, that willingness to say anything and do anything is what makes those moments blow up the way they do, go viral the way they do, get remembered the way they do. Meanwhile, Lakers fans watching all this unfold are stuck in a genuinely rough situation, a nightmare scenario. Their team just got blown out, embarrassed, exposed. Their stars spent a lot of the night going back and forth with referees and even a courtside fan getting distracted, losing focus. The head coach picked up a technical foul, which is never a good look. The roster is looking outmatched, outclassed, outhustled. And now the national broadcast, the biggest platform in basketball media, is turning that loss into comedy content, into memes, into jokes that will be replayed for days. And it doesn't get easier from here, not even a little bit. The next game could be their last one at home before heading back to Oklahoma City facing elimination, facing the broom, facing an early summer vacation. No easy fixes, no quick answers, no excuses left to lean on, no scapegoats left to blame. Chuck saw all of that, recognized all of that, and turned it into something the audience could react to instantly, viscerally, emotionally. Whether that's laughing or shaking heads or just watching the chaos unfold from behind their fingers, he got a reaction. There's also the bigger conversation sitting underneath all this, the quieter discussion happening just below the surface, even if Chuck didn't say it outright. The long, legendary, unprecedented career of LeBron James has always been seen as something that separates him from everyone else, the thing that makes him unique, the argument that ends all debates. That longevity has been the ultimate trump card for years. But now that same longevity is getting tested in real time, under bright lights, against a young, fast, hungry team. At this stage, at this age, you're seeing a version of LeBron taking a high number of shots, getting limited trips to the free throw line, reacting to calls instead of running back on defense, and watching his team fall behind by big margins that feel insurmountable. The long career is still impressive, no question, nobody is taking that away. But the level of control he once had over games, the ability to take over, to dictate pace, to will his team to victory, isn't showing up the same way right now. That's what a deep playoff run can look like at this point in a career this long, this grueling, this demanding. The legacy is already there, written in stone. But the physical side is starting to show signs, cracks in the armor, and it's becoming part of the conversation whether people want to say it out loud or not. And on top of everything else, there's a coaching storyline building fast, like a storm gathering on the horizon. If this series ends in a sweep or close to it, the pressure is going to land hard on that decision, on that hire, on that offseason move. JJ Redick came in as the big splash, the big headline, the big offseason move, bringing talk of fresh strategy, modern offense, analytics, and a win-now mindset. But now all eyes are starting to look at how that's playing out under playoff pressure, under the brightest lights. Through 2 games in round 2, things are not looking clean for the Lakers at all. Not even close. The offense looks lost, disconnected, unsure. The defense is wide open, giving up easy looks, soft rotations. And the head coach picked up a technical foul arguing with officials in Game 2, which is not the kind of playoff debut you want if you're a first-year coach trying to prove something, trying to establish credibility. Chuck and the crew didn't go directly at JJ Redick, didn't call him out by name, didn't make him the punchline. But you could feel what they were hinting at without them even saying it out loud. The contrast says everything, tells the whole story. The Thunder coach is building his players up, giving them confidence, letting them play free, play loose, play without fear. On the other side, the Lakers coach is caught up arguing calls and reacting in the moment, getting emotional, losing his composure. That difference shows up on the court whether people want to admit it or not, whether the cameras catch it or not. Then Chuck pointed out something deeper about playoff confidence, something that doesn't get talked about enough. Confidence in the playoffs doesn't come from one big win, one lucky break, one hot shooting night. It's built over time, over seasons, over years. It's built through losses, through heartbreak, through adjustments, and coming back stronger year after year after year. The Thunder didn't just wake up like this one morning. They didn't stumble into confidence. They built it intentionally, methodically, over 3 straight seasons as the top seed in the Western Conference. They took early losses, learned from them, absorbed the lessons, and now they move like a team that's already been through the worst of it, already seen the dark side, already survived. The Lakers, that same foundation just isn't there right now. It's not even close. This is a team that's been shuffled around again and again over the past couple of seasons. Different pieces, different roles, constant changes, constant turnover. And when things get tight in playoff games, when the pressure ratchets up, that lack of consistency shows up fast, shows up hard, shows up ugly. The Thunder stay calm and make the right play, the simple play, the winning play. The Lakers get frustrated and start reacting instead of executing, complaining instead of competing. That's the real gap between these two teams right now. That's the difference that matters more than any stat, any lineup, any coaching decision. Chuck also leaned into a bigger conversation that people don't always want to have, a topic that makes fans uncomfortable. The Lakers have had big moments in the regular season, no doubt about it. They've had highlight reel wins, comeback victories, statement games. But when it comes to deep playoff runs, sustained success in the spring, it hasn't matched the level of attention they get, the coverage they receive, the hype that surrounds them. That's a real discussion worth having. Is the spotlight bigger than the results at this point? Is the brand bigger than the team? And Chuck is one of the only voices in sports media willing to say it out loud, willing to ask the question, willing to say it in a way that actually connects with people instead of dancing around it. You could see it instantly online in real time as it happened. The cowboy boots line took off everywhere within minutes, spread across platforms, became a meme before the show was even over. The Sandman dance clip was all over social media, picked up by every major sports page, every highlight account, every aggregator out there. Even the moments of Ernie trying to calm Chuck down, trying to apply the brakes, turned into memes on their own, found their own life, their own audience. The reactions were exactly what you'd expect, split right down predictable lines. Lakers fans were heated in the comments, furious, typing furiously. Thunder fans were celebrating loud, proud, happy to see their team get respect. And everybody else, everyone with no dog in the fight, was just sitting back, enjoying the show, appreciating the chaos for what it was. That's what Inside the NBA does better than anyone else. It doesn't just react to the moment. It doesn't just report on what happened. It creates the conversation around it, shapes the narrative, decides what people will be talking about the next day. If this breakdown hit for you, if you made it all the way to the end, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss the next one when things get even crazier. Drop your take in the comments. Do the Lakers bounce back and grab a game, or is this heading for a straight-up, no doubt about it sweep? Share this with someone who needs to see it, someone who missed the show, someone who needs to understand what happened. And I'll catch you in the next one.